It's always a pleasure when you can actually introduce your own boss. So I'll be brief, but Ed and Ellen and Jim and myself and Amanda and Clarice, we wouldn't be here were it not for a conversation between Warden Green and our president. And it's their vision that we can provide expanded opportunities to the gentleman you see here and the gentleman that'll be here in the future. And it was only through her efforts that we've been able to create the classes and provide the support that we're going to talk about a little bit later. And I'm really pleased to introduce you to our very amazing and talented president, Dr. DeRionne Pollard.
Good afternoon, graduates. Good afternoon, graduates. Good afternoon, graduates. Good afternoon, guests and family and friends. I am delighted to be here. I have some prepared comments, and in the form that I typically do, I have a sneaking suspicion I'll go off track for a moment. And one of those moments I'm going to go off track is right now. I am delighted to be here, and there are going to be lots of people talking to you. I have a few things I'm going to say to you, but I want everyone in this room to know two very important things. One, that life is about the choices you make and the choices you fail to make. That's the one thing I want you to know. And two, that Montgomery College stands in the gap for anyone, regardless of the choices you make or the choices you don't make and the ones you want to make in the future. So there'll be lots of people talking. I'm going to say a few hundred words here, but after that, I want you to remember that life is about choices that you make and don't make, and that Montgomery College stands in the stead to help you make the choices that you want to make for your life, because ultimately, choices are about how you improve yourself, how you change the trajectory of the life for your family, how you improve the life of your community, and dare I say, how you improve the world that we live in. That's what it's about here, and that's why I choose to be here. I had a couple of invitations this year to speak at commencement programs of our wonderful partnership that we have with our school district. In fact, I had 4 of them this year. I did not accept any of them due to conflicts except for this one here today. It's about the choices that you make. I made a choice to be here because of 2 very important reasons. One is that I had a phenomenal conversation with the warden of this facility when I was here at a leadership event, and he said to me about 1,500 times in the conversation that I want Montgomery College to be here to work with the young men who are in this facility. And he said it to me at 1,501 times. I said, I got you, I got you, I got you. So we're going to figure out how to make this happen. And we had a group of talented people that worked together over the last year and a half to make this happen. So I'm honored to be here. I'm here secondly because I'm a mother. I'm a mother of a little brown boy who is 6 years old, who is right now in kindergarten. At 1 o'clock, they had their special program as they're moving to the 1st grade. And I'm here because I need you to survive. I need you to survive. So there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to talk about here. I have some information. I'm going to talk to you about wage and economic adjustment. I'm going to talk to you about your future. I'm going to talk to you about lots of things, but I need you to survive. My little boy needs you to survive because he needs to look at people who've been through something who can tell him how to get there. But I also need you to survive because his county needs you to survive for the economic base and the prosperity of what we're going to be doing. I need you to survive because there's something in your soul and your spirit that you want to be doing, and I want you to be doing that. So I have to do one shout out completely offside here. I'm looking, I see my fraternity brother back, and nobody knows I'm a Zeta, so go Mont Frat. And I'm looking at here because I work with hundreds of young men every day who I had the privilege of going to college with, who were there in spite of insurmountable odds. Every day. I think about the community that I grew up in on the south side of Chicago. I grew up in a place called Wentworth Gardens. They don't even exist anymore. I'm here to tell you, if they have a garden in the name, you got to question a little bit, all right? Wentworth Gardens, a housing development in the south side of Chicago. And this housing development, which was a phenomenal place to grow up in, I can tell you now that many of the young men and women that I grew up with are no longer here because they made choices that made them not be here, and they failed to make other choices that will allow them to be here. So choose to make the choices that allow you to be successful. All of us have a past, right? All of us got a past. It's your future where you're going right now. I could tell y'all a few stories. I've been around the corner a couple times. All right, I can tell you a couple stories. That's a whole nother conversation. But I want you to know I stand before you now as a college president, the first in my family to graduate from college. So I would be absolutely delighted if one of you all succeeded me as president of this institution. Absolutely delighted for that, because I know that you have unlimited possibilities. You have chosen to pursue education. Again, choices made and choices not made. You chose to pursue your academic career while you have been in this facility. That is not where you end. Montgomery College stands ready to help you go to the other side of that. Many of you should know that you are in good company. There are lots of people who've made decisions in their lives or had experiences that oftentimes set them back, but then they chose to make other decisions. I had someone give me a couple of examples, and this one told me that, did you know that J.K. Rowling, anybody know the Harry Potter series? J.K. I'm looking forward to reading that to my son because we like to read. They faced 12 rejection letters before the wizardry of Harry Potter made it to the day of light. And now we know that she is the richest woman after the Queen in Great Britain, right? Michael Jordan missed 9,000 shots in his basketball career, nearly 30 of which could have won the game. I'm from Chicago, so I take that a little sensitive, but I understand that. All right. Do we know that Colonel Sanders, I love this because, you know, I like a little piece of chicken. He said that he tried 1,099 times to prove his chicken recipe was special before it became known as a Kentucky Fried Chicken. Albert Einstein, often regarded as one of the most brilliant men who's ever walked the face of this earth, did not speak until he was 4 years old, did not read until he was 7 years old, and then was expelled from school, all before he won the Nobel Prize and became known as the epitome of what it means to be a genius in this world. And then, of course, there's Jonathan Neal, a name that you all may not know, but we recognize, who may not have had the recognition of the folks that I recognize, but I can assure you that he holds a special place in the hearts and minds of every young person who has had anything to do with this program, but also, more importantly, the folks who work at Montgomery College. Jonathan was once in this jail for dealing drugs. He now boasts a 4.0 GPA at Montgomery College and is on his way to receive an associate's degree. He's also doing an internship, you'll hear a little bit later, that will change his life. It's simply because he made a choice. And life is about the risks that we take from time to time. Risks require that we be humble. It requires that we be open-minded. It requires commitment. It requires us to expose ourselves sometimes in the way that allows us to be vulnerable. It requires that there's an acknowledgement that something has got to change. Today, you're proving that it was a risk worth taking, that you are either earning a diploma or a GED says something powerful about the trajectory you want your life to have. Did you know that on average, a high school graduate in our state earns about $10,844 more a year than a high school incompleter earns? And that's about $150,000 less than high school graduates over a lifetime. So it's more than just money, though. Money often, that puts something in your head to think about when it truly incents you. But it's also about finding your purest potential, living your best life. Today is about changing the odds. Have any of y'all read the book, The Hunger Games? couple of y'all, maybe even seen the movie or so. I have a little fascination with that series. I like series of books, as you can tell. I taught a year-long seminar on the Hunger Games. And what was powerful about that series, and it went on and had some great moments, this post-apocalyptic world that they lived in, people were fighting for life and death. Kind of sounds a little familiar, right, for every once in a while. But what I thought was very interesting to me about this, they talked about the idea that each and every day, each of us can change the odds, our own or our families or our community. Maybe in a big way, you can do something grand, but really where true change occurs is in the small places and spaces, and those private ones. Whether that be where you pass a course, you complete grade school, you earn a diploma, you go on to college, you go on and start a family, you become a taxpayer, you contribute to the community that you live in. All of this is critical because we know that right now, some people are telling us that 70% of the jobs that will be in the state of Maryland will require some sort of higher education degree, being a certificate or an associate's degree or a baccalaureate degree. 70%. That's significant odds. Montgomery College, the state's largest community college, stands ready to help you figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. We believe that education is the most redeeming thing there is in the world. After all, that's what we were born to do. After World War II, the President Harry Truman commissioned a report that suggests that all Americans should have access to 2 years of college. Every American should do that. And the idea was that if we could do that, we could create an equal society. That is how the modern community college was born. So flash forward to today, where we have community colleges have become what I believe potentially the most transformative entity in contemporary America. We engage in the true work of mobilizing millions of Americans each and every day to be who they can be, who they should be, who they want to be. And our singular goal is to make sure that everyone has access. Because I know for a fact, my grandfather, who recently passed at 98 years old, did not complete the 8th grade. He grew up in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. He saw the old South, he saw Jim Crow, he saw the new South. He lived through the Civil Rights Movement. And Granddaddy, when he died, he knew for a fact, he said, baby, you got to make sure that you always stay educated. Because education, my friends, it's the only thing I know that nobody can take away from you. They can take these pretty shoes some of y'all got on down here. They can take your good name every once in a while. People try to take that, but they can't take what's in your head because it's yours. It's the most liberating thing I know. So I want to encourage you to remember that you are a part of something bigger than yourself, and we need you to survive. It's a great gospel song. Everybody know that song? I pray for you, you pray for me. You are important to me. I need you to survive. It goes on. If you don't know, y'all go look that song up. So if you want to be a teacher, a nurse, a biotech engineer, a computer programmer, a bus driver, an automotive technician, whatever you want to be, Montgomery College stands there ready for you and your family and your friends who are here. We welcome you. We want you there. We want to be a part of your success, because I also want you to be an alumnus of Montgomery College so David Sears can call you and help you to support us in the future. Because Councilmember Rice is doing everything he can to get us money, but we need money from everybody. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. I want to end on one thought here, and I know that lots of folks are talking. I done broke out into a sweat. We're going to have to work on getting y'all some air in this building, right, Warden? In this particular building, in this particular room. I know for a fact that each and every one of you has a past. We all have a past. We all have something we've been. There's a few dark spaces in everybody's corner. But I would tell you that it's beautiful. You have made a choice right now to do something very different with your life. Earning a high school diploma, earning a GED is just the start of what you can and what you should be doing. I hope that each and every one of you, again, if you don't remember nothing from what I said, I'm going to add 3 to them. I need you to survive. Do I need you to survive? I need you to survive. Secondly, Education is the most liberating thing in the world. Montgomery College stands ready to help you figure out what the next step is afterwards. And third, and last but not least, life is about the choices you choose to make and the choices that you fail to make. 3 things, y'all got that one? Because y'all smart, y'all got a GED, you got a diploma. I know you know. Y'all got 3 things you can hold right there for me. Y'all all right? Yeah? Some of y'all give me a little nod. All right, thank you all very much, and I enjoyed being here today.
Welcome, class of 2013 graduates, family members, Department of Education leaders, and other visitors. My name is DeRionne Hall, and I will be representing this class of 2013 through the speech, so bear with me if you will. Traditionally, every year, thousands of smart young adults, such as the 2013 class, receive diplomas for our successes, specifically passing all classes given, the correct amount of credits earned. Now, this journey for most of us was a cold breeze, to others a harsh reality. But in the end, we made it to the Olympics, which is graduation, and I feel this generation is on the threshold of a new age. From achieving the most technologically advanced touchscreens, phones, computers, and music players, to push-button starter cars, then on to the goals of achieving advanced cures to certain abstruse cancers. Today's scientists, armed with an ever-increasing array of sophisticated instruments and techniques that can map and measure the minute electrical discharge in the brain associated with perception and thoughts at the same time. So, cognitive scientists are studying how we learn, perceive, and produce information. As we look back to wonderful ancient texts from around the world, powerful truth has its own gravity and eventually pulls people back to it. So mankind began finding answers that will elude him. Now, today's science and education is not so much making discoveries as it was making rediscoveries. Mankind, it seemed, had once grasped the true nature of the universe, but let it go and forgotten its true study of ancient wisdom.
How did you have the privilege to become the class speaker?
It was just off of my leadership. You know, nobody didn't want to do it, so I just stepped up, and I just had to do it. So that's what motivated me to do it.
So do you have any future plans after this?
My plans are to go to MC and try and go to University of Maryland after that, and just try to graduate. I say live your life to the fullest and chase after your dreams, no matter who looks at you funny because they only wish they were you. And we as the new nation are the keys to the great kingdom that awaits in these cities and states. I'm proud for myself and all others that we have this choice of the next level corporations and that we maintain excellence. I wish the Clarksburg faculty, the teachers, and my fellow 2013 graduates, and the educational leaders, good luck, and I hope you all can help me and others get into college so our passion for education can last for generations to come. All right, thank you all for listening.
Terry Reister was a gentleman that was a pastor of a local church when we moved MCCF up here and started building in 1998. Pastor Reister became very much involved in helping me and helping our institution keep our programs on track. He was a doctor of theology, but he brought a whole lot more to this facility than that. He had just this dogged perseverance that, Rob, don't let education get away from us. Give those young men something to look forward to. And he preached that message and, quite frankly, lived that message until the day that he passed away. He was an individual that helped create this solid organization that we all work very diligently to keep moving forward. So in honor of him, we've named the Academic Excellence Award after him. So I asked Ms. Deckelman to come up and present that.
Thank you. I would like to present the Terry Reister Award for Outstanding Score on the GED 8-hour exam to Mansour Bankier.
You received the Terry Reiser Award. How does that feel?
Surprising. I didn't expect it, but very accomplishing.
What are your future plans after this?
I want to do auto tech. I don't know where, but that's what I'd like to pursue.
Nick Butler. Keith Haddock. DeRionne Hall. Tavares Harris. Christian Nolasco. Christian Rivera.
Isaiah Thomas. Now that we have them all standing, just one last round of applause for all their hard work.
Graduates, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, the MCCF graduating class of 2013.